The supply of fresh water in the Rio Grande Valley ebbs and flows radically as our weather cycles between tropical downpours and prolonged periods of drought. Right now it seems the long dry spell couldn't get much worse. Joe Barrera knows it could get much worse. He's the Regional Water Authority district manager, and he worries every day for the future of water in the valley.
I wouldn't say that we're critical, but it's a serious situation, but it seems like everybody's united and working through it.
Let's take a look at where most of our water comes from, how it's measured, and gets delivered to you. Bulk water in the valley is measured in acre feet. 1 acre foot of water will cover 1 acre of land or 1 football field 1 foot deep. This is roughly 325,000 gallons of water. We have 2 large reservoirs along the Rio Grande, Falcon Lake in Zapata County and Amistad toward the Big Bend in Valverde County. Both were built in the 1950s and are capable of holding nearly 2 trillion gallons of water. We split that water with Mexico nearly 50-50. The series of rivers and streams flowing into our reservoirs is enormous, covering a huge chunk of northern Mexico. Back in 1944, our 2 countries signed a water treaty, whereby the U.S. allows water to flow from the Colorado River out west into Mexico. In return, Mexico must allow more than 100 billion gallons of water a year to flow into the Rio Grande for our use. To date, Mexico is behind in its water payments by more than 140 billion gallons. Mexico has a large series of dams upstream of the Rio Grande, nearly a dozen stretching from the Conchos River Basin in Chihuahua to the Alamos and Salado Basin in the states of Coahuila and Nuevo Leon. 15 more dams are slated for construction, giving Mexico nearly absolute control of our water future.
We're going to see this kind of situation more often, and mainly because a great deal of our water comes out of Mexico, and Mexico has overdeveloped their use for their water.
I found this to be a real aha moment. Have you ever heard of something called push water? One of the primary ways of getting water to a town in the valley is to send the water by way of an irrigation canal. Some are open ditches, others are buried, but none are pressurized. The water must flow, in some cases up to 50 miles. Now I've set up this example here so that we can see how Valley City, a made-up town, gets 2 acre feet of water a day. That's a little over 500,000 gallons of water a day. Now the water goes into the system, but it can't get to Valley City on its own. It needs a push, thus the term push water. So the water master has to keep an extra 500 acre feet of water, that's almost 150 million gallons of extra water in the canals just to make the delivery not a very efficient system. Valley agriculture brings in $1.2 billion a year to our economy, but it has a big thirst since half of our crops are irrigated. When the canals start to dry up, farmers feel the pinch first.
We can see that we have a hard row to hoe right now, and we need to get we need to get aggressive in times when we have plenty of water, so that we can weather these storms better.
Rain or shine, the future for the valley lies in conservation and quick thinking. The city of McAllen sucks up 25 million gallons a day. Projects like this 1,000-foot deep water well will add millions of gallons a day, while others will reuse wastewater for irrigation.
We want to go to the jewels of the city, to the convention center area, to West Side Park and other parks, and start using 6 million gallons a day from the South Wastewater Treatment Plant that currently goes down to the Laguna and reuse it.
Conservation, deep wells, turning seawater into fresh water, effluent reclamation, take your pick. There are a lot of solutions, but the reality is the 1.4 million people of the Rio Grande Valley will have to start making changes to the way we do water.
The irrigation districts work harder than you think to make sure that mom and pop get their water, but we want them to realize that without conservation, we can't keep the water we don't have.